Okay, if you can just introduce yourself.
I'm Casie Young.
And tell me what you've decided to make for the children's storybook brief.
I've decided to make a fiction book about a little girl that wants to be famous.
Lovely. Can you show an example of a book you looked at for inspiration and tell me how it inspired you?
I looked at this book and I liked the font because it stood out, and I liked the pictures because there was a lot of colour, so that's what inspired me.
Okay, let's have a look at the pages that you've designed so far on the computer screen, and if you talk me through how you created each page, any techniques you used.
This is the second page in the book, which just describes a bit about myself. I found stars on the internet and then used can't remember what tool it was.
Is it the brush tool?
I think I used the brush tool to stick the stars on the page just to make it stand out a bit more. For this I also used the brush tool and decorated the background, and I also, to make it look like my own work, I coloured in the picture, and I drew the little girl first on a piece of paper and then took a picture of it and put her on the computer, and then I went on the internet and chose different clothes for her and her mum as well. That's her mum and that's her. And I also done the same here. I used the brush tool to make it look like my own work. And I drew mum as well and then took a picture of her and put it on the computer. That's the little girl's bedroom, and I also used the brush tool to make it look like my own work. That's when the little girl's on stage. I used the brush tool to put the stars on the page, and I also changed her dress and I put a microphone in as well. That's her room again, and I used the brush tool to create that, and then that's just plain for the moment until I put something on it.
Okay, that's great. Can you tell me about some of the other techniques that you used in Photoshop to design the pages? You talked about the brush tool. Did you have to do anything else when you were copying images in? Did you have to resize them?
I did have to resize some, and I did have to use the eraser tool to erase bits as well.
And sorry, Casie, go on.
I cropped some of the pictures as well. Obviously I cropped the little girl so that she'd fit into the pages. And I've used colour tools and the text tool to add text, and the colour tool to change the colour of the background.
Brilliant. How easy or difficult has it been using Photoshop? How have you found it?
It's been pretty easy. There's some things I've needed help with. Obviously I didn't think I'd be able to draw a little girl and the mum, but I thought I couldn't do it, but it just turns out that I can, so yeah, it's been pretty easy so far.
What have you enjoyed doing the most?
I've enjoyed designing the book, really. Just like putting everything together and knowing that at the end it's going to be like your own little book.
Yeah.
So
I'm just going to ask a question off the sheet. When you started this project and I told you what you were going to be producing, could you imagine that you'd be able to do all the things that you have done?
No, I didn't think I'd be able to design a book.
So you're pleased with what you have learned?
Yeah.
Good. How would you say your skills have developed over the past few weeks? What can you do now confidently that you couldn't do at the start?
I can draw better. I know more about Photoshop than I did, so Yeah.
Lovely. Can you think of any ways in which you've worked safely during the lessons?
I've used the computer in Photoshop.
So when you're using a computer, what do you need to do to make sure that you're not hurting your eyes or...
Wear glasses or sit back from the computer or have a break from it.
Take regular breaks? That's what Katie wants now. Super.